Relationship. It's such an interesting twist, and what you're creating and what we're all creating in our life. Creating the relationships that you desire and that you love personally, professionally, with you and your body. It's really a personal choice. I'm going to give you some examples of some things that I've gone through in relationship recently. One is something that I've noticed all of my life: confidence, and a lack of confidence, a lack of trust in myself. And recently, probably the best time in my life has been the last year to year and a half, where I'm stepping out in new ways in my life with all of my creations based on having more confidence within myself. I can track back not too long ago, probably about 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago now, where I literally made, this, I call it a stake in the ground, the commitment that no matter what it was going to take, I was going to change my relationships. And what I realized is you can look at the change in relationships outside of yourself, but really you're the common denominator. So I had to change myself. What I changed is really getting to know me, getting to know my yes when I mean yes, my no when I mean no, get to know what I was happy about, what didn't make me happy, what I was tolerating, what I no longer wish to tolerate, and acting on that and realizing the world didn't end. And yeah, maybe my relationships changed and there was a little bit of a lull where I didn't necessarily feel like I had a whole lot of people to call or talk to, because I was focusing more on myself and building my confidence and learning about what works for me. And I really didn't want anybody else's opinion because I was so swayed by so many other people's opinions. So the biggest relationship issue that I think I have been facing is really more to step into my own confidence. And how do you step into your own confidence? It's actually stepping more inside of you and more inside of me and being with me and trusting that my actions, they're good for me. And when I rest my head on the pillow at night, I only have the answer to me. How do I feel about me and what I did, what I handled, how I handled it? Where did I step up and out very strongly? Where did I step up and out maybe reactively that I can change? How am I doing in all areas of my life? That has boosted my confidence. And recently, relationship with my business and taking something in my business to its own trademark is a relationship. And that is a relationship in trusting me, that I have something of value that I could trademark, that I could teach and other people to do, and that they would join with me and do it and bring the expansion of this particular technique to the world. And that has been so challenging and really a labor of love. And it has been so rewarding because I know if I fast forward to the end of my life and I didn't do what I'm doing now, I would regret it. And one of the best things about learning to have more confidence in myself is I do not want to live with regrets. I will, like Shakira said in the song, try everything. I will try everything as long as it has heart and meaning to me, as it contributes to the greater world as a contribution, and it brings joy and happiness and love. Other than that, I don't really want to be a part of it. So self-confidence is a big for me right now. Something in relationship that I've been working out and really committed to changing is my inner circle, my outer circle, and my relationship to myself. So there was this theme that was reflected to me at one point by a mentor, which was, Lisa, the people you choose to love would walk over your cold, dead body and never look back. When I finally heard that, I had to listen to it a couple of different times to make sense of it. I was embarrassed, I was shocked, I was ashamed. Here I am doing all these things in the world that help people better relationships. And here I was, a couple years ago, still attracting relationships that would walk over my cold, dead body and never look back. And so I decided that was it. I'm not being that anymore and I'm not doing that anymore. So I changed everything, and I really changed everything from the inside out. And I did like a cleanse, if you will, like an ecological check of all my relationships, business, personal, energetic, and I let go of everything. Like I stopped interacting completely. Wasn't a fight. There was a couple of little conflict things that I wish were a little different than they actually panned out to be. But I also know that when one door closes, no matter how painful it could be, there's many and a plethora of doors that open for the greater possibility. Like those moments are the growth possibilities, even though they may feel a little gross. So I changed my energy. What I did literally was ask myself, what makes me happy? What do I feel good about? What don't I feel good about? And sometimes I had to learn in the moment. I remember very clearly, I was over at a friend's house helping them with something, and I brought cheese and food, and we were gonna have, doing some chores and errands, and we were going to have a nice meal. And this particular person I laugh and laugh and laugh with. And they invited, unbeknownst to me, someone else over. And this person likes to drink a little bit too much to the point where they get mean, they say things they'll never remember saying, and I feel really uncomfortable around it. And they also say things about this particular friend of mine that this friend doesn't even pay attention to or doesn't even realize. So I didn't like this person. And I promised my body that if this person was ever around again, I wouldn't stay. Well, whenever you make a promise like that, watch it come true, because there I was in that night with that person, and then that other person comes in. And I was like, oh no, my body, I promised my body that I was not gonna be around something so uncomfortable. What am I going to do? So I made up an excuse, I left, and I got out of there, I got home, and I never felt so happy. On the couch, watching Netflix, but honoring my body instead of staying with someone or something that didn't lift my spirit. So what I did to change people walking over your cold, dead body and never look back is I changed who I allowed myself to be around, what I allowed myself to be around, and the energy that I allowed myself to be around. Even if I loved the person, I still changed. I either left, I either said something, or I stopped the communication or the relationship for me. And I didn't make them wrong. And what happened after that is my world expanded. My business expanded with a squad and a team and managers and coordinators that actually are creating greater. With friends and my lover and my beloved, everything just expanded. And they were all, and still are, all at a frequency and a vibration that emanates joy and truth and authenticity and genuinity and reciprocity and mutuality. And none of those people have any energy of walking over my cold, dead body and never looking back. And that was the key. I had to believe in me to make the change that I knew I wanted to see. So my whole life changed, my world changed. My business is expanding and increasing with a larger and larger team of people that is, creating greater in a way that I've always wanted the business to run. That is because I changed my relationship to myself. And my personal relationship with my partner also brings me the possibility of noticing my own barriers and my own walls to receiving. Because I happen to have a very loving, giving, authentic, genuine partner who actually adores me. And I have to pinch myself almost every day to realize that I've actually attracted this in my life and that the person still likes me after all this time. And that is not about the other person, that's about me. And I really used to choose relationships and dynamics that were reflective of what I used to feel about myself. Something of the fact of unworthy, unlovable, being a mistake, never being peaceful or happy and those sorts of things. And so I would track that energy. And then when everything changed in my world, if you want to know what changed, listen to some of the other YouTube videos I talked about on relationships, or potentially listen to, podcasts or radio show to find out more. But I made some demands in my universe which were about changing me. And so now my greatest problem is receiving the love, the authenticity, the care, the contribution and the collaboration of my partner, my friends, my squad, my coordinators in the business, and all the people that I have that simply show up every day to make my life, my beloved's life, easier. And I have a lot. And I am so blessed. I literally know that nothing could really ever go wrong. And I will always be taken care of, even when things do seem to go wrong. It's really just another way for the universe to show me, Lisa, are you going to receive now? Are you going to allow into every muscle, ligament, cell, tendon, organ, and system of your body what is available to you. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm still learning. Some days I'm only doing 1 degree, and that's a 1 degree shift, and that's not an only, that's huge. Some days I'm at 100%, and I'm like, yeah, styling. I don't know why different days I have less or more left, but I am really aware of it, and every single moment I attempt to better myself with receiving more, and receiving more, and receiving more, and having more, and allowing more, and receiving the gifts of the universe, and receiving the contribution of all the people. It is truly a blessing, and it's truly luxurious, and it's truly the best way to live, and I'm so grateful. Never give up on yourself. Be the demand for you, and you too may have the problem of simply learning how to receive. It's truly an art. I have a lot of gratitude in relationship for a lot of people that I'm in relationship with. In fact, I have gratitude for everyone that I'm in relationship with. And you know, me being a New Yorker, I have to say that a lot of times I don't always show my gratitude in all my relationships. So this might be a little bit of like vulnerability and saying like, oh, Lisa, maybe you can show a little bit more of that gratitude to people. But even as I'm doing these videos right now, if you, the viewer, could see the setup, I have 2 people behind the camera. They're right over there. And I'm gonna make this video without them knowing it, except now they're hearing it, about them. These 2 beings set the whole scene up, set the stage up for me, read me the questions that I'm to talk about, handle the microphone, handle the lighting, get me water when I need to get water, put the air conditioning on when I need air conditioning, set up the scene behind me, to the right of me, to the left of me. And they do it begrudgingly. They do it with joy. They do it with ease. I come on the set and I'm cranky sometimes. And I just said it even in the beginning of this shoot. I was like, why are you guys so happy? And when I stand in front of the camera, I'm just like, come on, let's move. And I know that I do that with myself, kind of like as a motivation. What would it take to change that? You know, to kind of like the New Yorker, power through everything. But they just kind of walk in and do everything from the pure joy of it. I don't know if it's a Mexican thing, because they both happen to be Latina women, but they love the joy of putting these things together. And I am so grateful for it, because I don't love putting these things together, but I love working with them putting it together, because it makes my job easy and easier. And that I love the most, because I know they do it because they care for me and for what you, the viewer, receives. And having 2 people, and there's a lot more, the people that put the questions together, we have 3 pages of questions. The people that, you know, put the outline together about what we need, and the people that they call to get the technical stuff done, and then the people that put the videos together and then put it out there on YouTube and edit it. It goes on and 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 on. And my life wasn't always like that. So it's a reflection to me being grateful of what I have allowed as being grateful for, and that energy that I put out there called these beings forward to match that and join together to create a greater result for everyone. So I am so grateful for them and for you, the listener, and for everyone and everything that puts these messages out to the world and that gives me the space to share with you. Because somewhere inside all those beings, and especially the 2 right here, they know the message that I'm getting out to the world, and they believe in it. And that makes me grateful for the belief that they have in me. And that actually is wind beneath my wings for me to believe in me. It lifts me up. Even when sometimes I don't want to stand because my body kind of hurts, or we've had some things go on here today at the house because we're under construction that are pretty intense. I may want to say, we'll do the videos later. No, they just show up, they set it up, no excuses, and we do it. That is what I'm grateful for, that I have that everywhere I look. I never thought I would say what I'm just about to say to you about relationships, but I have transformed my relationships from the conflict, the incongruity, the struggle, to the prosperity, possibility, creation and generation of people in my inner circle, my inner squad, my external circle, and external squad that puts this business and my personal life together, if you will. And I have attracted that level of relating that is actually creating. And I worked really hard for that, actually, because it wasn't always that way. I had a lot of people in my life that destroyed things, and it was because I was self-destructive, and I just, like attracts like. And now that I'm no longer self-destructive, I'm actually generating, creating everything that I know is possible. So the future of the relationships that I'm looking for everybody in my business to lead, happy, joyous, successful lives in whatever way that works for them, and also joining in the business. I'm looking for all the relationships with all the vendors we have and putting this new land together that my partner and I are creating as our home. And in the future, potential classes for you to come and do some of the personal work with us here on this sacred land that we are stewards for. I'm looking for the land of this property and from the baseboards, from top to bottom and bottom to top, right to left and left to right, to be teeming with possibilities. We have these workers that have been here for 2 months painting top to bottom, and they sing, and they're respectful, and they're joyous, and they're such in the generative energy with us, and they work all day long, and they show up, and we never have to wonder what they're doing or where they are. I want that in every wood, paint thing, in the kitchen, to the movie room, to the classroom, to my office, to my partner's studio, to the bedroom, to the outside, the inside, the sprinklers, and wherever Bella can run around like a crazy puppy and enjoy the land. And I want the turtles and the eagles and the birds and the snakes and the frogs and the crickets to enjoy this land and feel safe and prosperous like we feel safe and prosperous, and transform living as a generative, creative magnet of possibilities. And everybody that works in my business, and everybody, including family, from the energy of me and my home, me and my partner, me and family, me and business, me and everyone together, to team with possibilities to create that as the living, breathing, relational reality that is possible. I call that radical aliveness. And that is literally how I know a world without abuse is possible. When all of us are actualizing our dreams from a space of respect and authenticity and genuinity and compassion and love and joy, there's no time for conflict and war and struggle and abuse. There's just radical aliveness. Choosing, committing, collaborating, creating for you. That's the future of this planet, of this earth that I'm looking for.